What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red Seat Radio. My name is Corbin, and a lot of this offseason talk that we've had on this channel so far has been about free agent targets for the Boston Red Sox, mostly because those are quantifiable, right? There's only a certain amount of free agent targets that can fit with this Red Sox team, so it's a little bit easier to narrow down our choices. One thing we have not talked about yet this offseason is the possibility of trades for the Boston Red Sox. Currently, the Red Sox farm system is ranked 11th in baseball in terms of its depth, and Chaim Bloom at the end of the year presser talked about how he thinks he's ready to use that depth to make some good trades for this Red Sox team. So that's what we're talking about today. Specifically today, we are talking about starting pitching targets for the Boston Red Sox when it comes to trades. But before we get into that, do me a favor, make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit the like button on this video as well. Helps these videos out a ton and would mean a lot to me. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one. Let's get into it. So what I did is I compiled a list of my top 3 Red Sox starting pitching targets. Now, obviously with trades, there is a ton of different options. There is basically one person on almost every single team in baseball that we could probably go out and trade for to make this starting rotation a bit better. So if there's someone that I did not include on this list that you're like, hey dummy, this guy needs to be at Fenway Park come opening day 2023, let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what guys you have on your radar in terms of starting pitching. Anyways, my list starts with a guy who's a little bit unrealistic in terms of getting him here to the Red Sox, but is definitely still a guy that should be on the Red Sox radar, and that is Zach Gallant of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Now, Zach Gallant really had a breakout year in 2022. He finished the season with a 2.54 ERA, 158 ERA plus. He also led the NL in WHIP at .913 and led the league in home runs per 9 at 5.9. Again, he had a really breakout year. One of the other upsides to Zach Gallant is he's under control until 2026. One of the things I like to look at when I'm looking at trade value for a player, especially during the offseason, is the longevity of this player. Zach Gallant would definitely be a major part of this Red Sox team until at least 2026 when he hits free agency, and that is a huge plus for Zach Gallant. But there is a downside to Zach Gallant as well, and that's the cost to get him here on this Red Sox team, because the cost to trade for Zach Gallant is going to be really, really high. He is the Arizona Diamondbacks' most valuable player, and that is going to cost an arm and a leg to get him here. We're talking probably a top 5 prospect in the Red Sox system, a blue chip type prospect. We're also probably talking about a couple of our top 25 prospects as well, and then from there you sort of figure out the other finer details. But either way, it's going to cost a ton to get Zach Gallant here on this Red Sox team, and that might be too much for this Red Sox team to even consider bringing him to this team. But at the same time too, if the Red Sox want to go into free agency / trading period and really make a splash, say to everyone in the AL East, say to everyone in baseball, we're here and we're ready to play, trading for Zach Gallant would definitely do that, and it could still be an option on the table for this Red Sox team. Now, the next guy I want to talk about is going to bring this video down to earth a little bit. This is definitely a more realistic option, and that's Pablo Lopez from the Miami Marlins. Now, Pablo Lopez had a really decent year with the Miami Marlins. He ended 2022 with an ERA of 3.57, an ERA plus of 108, a WHIP of 1.167, and a FIP of 3.71, meaning realistically he wasn't just getting lucky out there with his lower ERA. Now, I don't think this is the ace material, the super big splash like Zach Gallant would be, but this is a really solid 2-3 option for the Boston Red Sox. On top of that, he is also under control for a while. He is under control until 2025. Again, a longer term solution to this Red Sox rotation. He would also cost a lot less than Gallant would. Now, a trade for Pablo Lopez probably looks something like a Duran, a Winkowski, and a Benelis in a trade package to the Miami Marlins. Now, obviously that isn't going to be the exact trade value. There is some wiggle room there. It could be a little bit more, it could be a little bit less, but the basis of the value of those prospects, in my opinion, is sort of where the starting point is. A guy who has some potential but really hasn't shown that he can put it together at the big league level. I'm talking guys like Duran, Dahlbeck, Downs, those type of players who their hit tools and everything line up, but just haven't been able to put it together. A guy who can really bring some power to the table in Benelis. Maybe you include Blaze Jordan, take away a prospect, and a pitching prospect that shows some promise, but again, hasn't been able to fully put it together. Maybe needs a change of scenery. Winkowski's a great example of this. Connor Siebold could be an example of this. And then you could add in other guys too, like Ward. You could talk about Walters, those type of guys who haven't made it to the big league level yet, but are showing a ton of promise. And in my opinion, this is extremely doable. You're not breaking the bank to get Pablo Lopez here. You're not decimating your farm system to get a starting pitcher. And on top of that too, he would be a great addition to this Red Sox rotation. A guy who can be locked up until 2025 and be a continuous 2-3 starter in your rotation as either Bayo improves or maybe Whitlock comes in and improves, right? That sort of middle of the rotation type guy. Pablo Lopez fits that perfectly. And in my opinion, of all three of the guys we are going to be talking about in this video, Pablo Lopez has to be at the top of your trading board. If I'm the Red Sox right now and I've got a board of potential trade targets, I'm putting Pablo Lopez right at the top. Now, the last guy I want to talk about is a bit of an oddball choice. It's a choice that has some risk, but also has some really high reward, and that's Spencer Turnbull of the Detroit Tigers. Now, Spencer Turnbull has been injured and did not play in 2022. He got Tommy John surgery in the offseason of 2021, but his 2021 season was fantastic. He finished 2021 with an ERA of 2.88, an ERA plus of 148, a whip of 0.980, and a FIP of 2.95. Again, indicating that he wasn't just getting lucky on the mound. Now, those are similar to Zach Gallant's statistics, but it's going to cost a little bit less because of the risk that's involved. Now, one of the other upsides to Turnbull is, again, he's under control until the 2025 offseason. Again, another longer term solution to the Red Sox starting rotation problems. And Spencer Turnbull has been a solid pitcher, not just in 2021, but his entire career. Obviously, the risk there is pretty big. Obviously, coming back from Tommy John, you don't entirely know what you're going to get. Some guys come back from Tommy John and they end up being better than they were before. Other guys take a while to get their stride back. So with that being said, it would cost a little bit less to get Spencer Turnbull here on the basis of that risk involved. We're probably talking about a package that is similar to the one that we offered up for Pablo Lopez, maybe a little bit more, but still, with that package, you are spending less and you are getting a higher risk, higher reward type player. Honestly, the more I'm talking about this, the more I'm talking about this on this video, this seems a lot like a Chaim Bloom Red Sox move to make. Pick up a player who is at its lowest in terms of value and see if they can rehab him, make him better, and really turn him into an ace caliber pitcher for the Red Sox. Because we've talked about those statistics, right? It's a guy that has the ability to be an ace caliber pitcher at Fenway Park, but isn't going to cost the amount that a guy like Zach Gallant would. Now, again, this is sort of an oddball choice. I'm not really sure if anyone's really thought about this or talked about this, but I wanted to throw it out there and see what you guys think. And I want you guys to let me know what you think about all three of these pitchers. Which one of these guys did you like the most? Which ones did you guys like the least? Is there a guy in MLB that you want on this Red Sox team in terms of starting pitching that I did not talk about? Let me know all your thoughts on these starting pitchers down below. Also, let me know down below what other positions would you guys like to see the Red Sox trade for this offseason. Obviously, we have a ton of time until the offseason even begins, so we've got plenty of time to go over almost every single scenario for this Red Sox team. So if there's a position out there that you're like, hey, Red Seat Radio, please talk about, I don't know, a corner outfielder that the Red Sox should trade for. Let's talk about a DH, a reliever. Let me know where you want the Red Sox to trade for the most down below as well. So let me know all your thoughts on trading down below as well. Before you guys head out of here, make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, like I said at the beginning, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. If you also made it to the end of this video, you might as well hit that sub button. You also might as well hit that like button as well, as it helps out these videos a ton. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one, and I will see you in the Red Seat.